Unified Business Association co-chairman. I want to get a couple people to speak first, but I'm going to ignore this. I want to thank Teresa for her help. I can't tell you how hard it was to even get here to have people hear us on this issue. I mean, it took us months of very harsh letters to the city and threats to just be heard. I didn't think that was the way government worked. I've been in the city. I'm a simple person. I've worked very hard to build a large business. I've never needed the city's help in anything. I pay my taxes, but I needed help, and nobody wanted to listen to us. The reason I'm here is because on February, the end of February, my office manager gave me a piece of paper, and she said to me, "Stuart, you need to look at this." And I said, "What is that?" And she said, "It's from the water company." I said, "Okay." She said, "We will be paying $4,000 plus dollars." I said, "What's that, a year?" She goes, "No, a month for storm runoff." I said, "What?" I never heard of storm runoff. I've been in business many years. I'm very excited because I don't understand why the water company and Mr. Almer and stuff are being adversarial. If you were to ask questions, they know there was, in some cases, 400% increases. We've asked, I've spent over $10,000 worth of my own money and numerous hours, which I really can't afford to do, to try to address this, to get the attention that we are here today. I don't understand the meeting that we had with the water company that we went to. There's a tremendous issue here that we haven't even discussed yet, which is the impact on real estate. I invested in the SEPTA bus terminal, which is in a very depressed area, and I spent a lot of my own personal money to develop the building. And quite frankly, I lost my train of thought here. But the reality is that when we went to the water company to discuss all these different issues, the water company had no idea when we brought up the effect it would have on the real estate market and how it would affect our business. And I said, "When you did your planning 10 years ago, did you not even discuss this?" And they said, "No, we didn't realize." So I said to them, "Yes, you implemented something of this magnitude and this impact without really discussing all the ramifications." So right there is another indication how thoughtless it was about the people, the businessmen in Philadelphia, to just burden us with this tax without even thinking of the ramifications. I'm not upset as much with the tax. I think if we did it over 20 years, I'm extremely upset with it, believe me. I think it's outrageous. And I think all the things that I've gotten involved in over the last couple of months typified how ridiculous this really is. I'm not saying 300-400, and like Jeff said, the insurance company, like Blue Cross, that goes up 15%. I hate that. I think it's unfair, but I need it, so I pay it. But a 300-400% increase on something I've never heard of before, that's outrageous. I just couldn't accept it. But I think it's also, Mr. Almer said something about representation. It's another thing. I'm a businessman. We couldn't get away with what was done as businessmen. I would lose all my business. When they said that we had representation, we didn't have representation. There wasn't one business other than Jack Craven. This was told to us by the water company. Jack Craven or Delicatessen. That was the guy that the water company used to represent small business. That's what was told to us by the water company. I mean, I don't understand that. That's an insult to us. I pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes. I have 75 employees. I took $2 million of my own personal money to renovate a building in an area that's completely depressed. We had to use an electric fence around our property to keep people out. And I still stay in the city. But this tax of a $40,000 increase per year without any discussion years ago is outrageous. Last thing I want to say, I developed this building 5 years ago. A friend of mine who's a philanthropist said that he wanted to put a police athletic wing on our property. I have 14 acres in the city, and that's priceless to have that kind of acreage. I felt that because we're in the inner city area, that I should give back to the city, okay? And we gave an acre of property to this person to build a magnificent, state-of-the-art, $14 million police athletic league that the kids off of Pike Street and Luzerne Street have to use at their convenience. Because this whole operation of the water company was so secret for so many years, and I don't understand why you guys aren't trying to help us instead of give us leverage. I really mean that. We're not your enemies. We're business people that are trying to survive. We have families just like you. I have little kids. I'd like to have a legacy to give them of this building, but my point was, and I keep losing my thought.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, if I had known about this issue, about the whole process of the water company and what they were doing, and they purposely kept it secret. And Commissioner, you stepped into this, and we're sorry that you had to jump into this, because this is none of your doing. You're just getting the blunt of it. But the fact that they kept this secret on purpose, because they know this would have never passed. The businessmen would have been up in arms, and rightfully so. I developed my building and gave that location, which was the most appropriate location for that runoff without the bin, to fix it right then and there and solve this problem quickly. But having had their engineers out, they told me my cost would be close to $350,000 to remediate the building, right, to the way they like it. And for that, I would gain 20% of that revenue that they were going to pay. So I'd still be paying close to $30,000 a year in this tax or assessment, whatever you want to call it, but I never heard about it before. And I know of no other state. Ms. Dahmer might have also said that people are doing it like Washington. I guarantee they don't have 1,000 losers like we have. They may did it aimlessly so that people did it, right? But they didn't take, what they did was, and she told me this specifically, she said, we took the people that complained the most, which were these big buildings, Blue Cross, Comcast, all these buildings, and who had rightfully had an issue because their meters were bigger and they were paying a lot of money. I agree with that. But what they did was, they put that burden on us. And that's where we have a problem. They took their issue and put it on the businessmen. And that's why we're so up in arms.
Do I understand you to say that the cost of remediation of your water runoff problem would have only yielded you a small percent of the total bill charge?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And over a $300,000 charge.
So there is, what your testimony says to me is you're bringing into question, what is this remediation worth by way of the corresponding reduction or credit that you gave? Is that formula equitable?
Yes, it was not successful one bit, and everybody I turned who's tried to cooperate also has been not successful whatsoever.
So you're saying even when consulted,
Yes.